Some people in need are back in the garden again thanks to a fundraising event this weekend. We have the scene from outside the AFIA apartments in Springfield on Saturday. The complex is run by ShelterCare, which reaches out to the homeless in Lane County in a number of ways. Some who use the services are impacted so much they decide to return the favor. KEZI 9 News reporter Sarah Hurwitz is live in the studio with more on how former residents continue this circle of giving. Sarah?
Brian, when Tom Weaver had nowhere else to turn, ShelterCare helped him and his family get back on his feet. Now he's returning the favor and finding a niche for himself as an employee for ShelterCare.
Being homeless with no job and 3 children, they were counting on me, you know? That was the hardest part.
Tom Weaver remembers that feeling of not knowing where his family would sleep each night. Over 20 years ago, he couldn't find work and at one point was living in a tent in Cresswell until he and his 3 boys could get more permanent housing.
The shelter was hard on the kids. They, you know, were used to a little more stable of housing, but they got through it, and like I told them, we'll get there.
During his time as a resident in ShelterCare, he volunteered, doing maintenance and other types of work for the organization that helped him. And when he got back on his feet, his priority was helping others in a similar situation.
Without him, I wouldn't be sitting in this house today, so I'm very grateful. Yeah, ShelterCare has just been really important to me. Like I said, I've been there for 20+ years, and I love going to work every day, so I get to help people.
People need a safe place to live before they can begin to address the causes of their instability. So we have a range of housing arrangements.
Development Director Lucy Vinnis says what helped Weaver find stability helps thousands of others from all walks of life. One of the housing units helps those who specifically suffer from mental illness.
Getting off the street helps to stabilize a person because you're not on high alert if you've got my condition.
Kevin McGeehee suffers from bipolar disorder and says ShelterCare housing not only got him off the streets, but eases his stress level with social activities.
When you have nobody to talk to, you're about ready to talk to the insects in your living room.
No matter their background, residents who use ShelterCare all have something in common.
Most of the time it's, you know, maybe a little bit your fault, but sometimes it's just a matter of things not quite lining up right.
The ideal that I think, should all have as a community, the ideal is that people are able to realize their potential.
Now, Weaver says that he doesn't plan on going anywhere and wants to continue to give back to the homeless community. And ShelterCare helps over 1,600 individuals in the community with housing needs. Live in the studio, Sarah Hurwitz, KEZI 9 News.